The Port of Cape Town is one of 10 officially authorized maritime ports of entry in South Africa. Safeguarding the country's borderline and strengthening controls at various ports of entry is central to defending and maintaining the integrity and authority of the State of the Republic of South Africa. The opening of this unique port of entry control center within the Port of Cape Town is a crucial milestone and national symbol of the country's commitment to improved border control and security. Also known as the Cowrie Place, this Port of Entry Control Center builds on a range of other positive initiatives in the border environment, such as the Lebombo One-Stop Border Post to improve the legitimate flow of people and goods across the country's borders. In 2009, President Jacob Zuma, in his State of the Nation address, announced the government's commitment to pursue an integrated approach to border management in South Africa.
Amongst other key initiatives, we will start the process of setting up a border management agency.
This Port of Entry Control Center is one of its kind, a government house in the border environment in South Africa. Its primary mission is to operate a world-class service delivery and intelligence-driven, coordinated and joint command structure to enhance cooperative interaction within the Cape Town Maritime Port of Entry. This Port of Entry Control Center will support the realization of the following key outcomes: to ensure the sovereign integrity of the Port of Cape Town, promote an environment through excellent service delivery that enhances the flow of legitimate maritime trade with South Africa's regional and international partners, enforce all domestic and international regulatory frameworks and instruments within the Port of Cape Town, and ensure the identification and mitigation of all threats and risks to the Port of Cape Town and the Republic of South Africa. Government departments and state agencies are responsible for their respective roles and functions in the port of entry process in the Maritime Port of Cape Town. In the past, they were housed and spread throughout the greater city. Also, until recently, passenger liner ships visiting the city would dock directly adjacent to the V&A waterfront. This was not deemed to be ideal from a border management perspective. E-berth, which is directly opposite the Port of Entry Control Center, is now the designated location for all passenger vessels to dock. Processing of passenger vessels is now made easier for departments and state agencies in the Port of Entry Control Center. The Port of Entry Control Center accommodates, for the first time in South Africa, all the relevant core government departments and state agencies in a single building at a port of entry. These are the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, Department of Health, Department of Home Affairs, South African Police Service, South African Revenue Service and the State Security Agency. This is a one-stop service center for clients and members of the public in the Cape Town Maritime Port of Entry. This facility enhances integrated approach to border management in the execution of critical responsibilities and functions, including joint monitoring, integrated risk assessment and profiling, joint situational risk briefing, joint operational planning, and joint operational execution. This integrated approach allows for a more efficient and effective response to a number of risks and threats identified within the maritime ports of entry. It is anticipated that lessons from this government house will be appropriately replicated in other ports of entry across the country. One of the exciting features of this government house is the establishment of a coordination and monitoring center. This is a single space where all relevant data and information of government departments and state agencies, together with available open source information, will be available for collective monitoring on a 24-hour basis. A key capability of the Coordination and Monitoring Center will be to monitor vessel movement within the harbour. One of the operational principles of this facility is that all individual departments will manage their own data and information that will be available for collective viewing in this secure space. The Port of Entry Control Center will rely on the combined capabilities of the various role players. A key function of government in maritime ports of entry is to plan and execute operations, focusing on the clearance and rummaging of vessels. The clearance and rummaging of a vessel entails a number of distinct but also joint activities by government departments and state agencies. Joint planning prior to such an operation is essential. This is informed by risk-based profiling of the selected vessels. During the operational phase, the securing and facilitation of the vessel, its crew and cargo becomes the responsibilities of individual role players in a very structured manner. The commander of the operation must first ensure that the vessel has been cleared by the Department of Health. Other role players then take the lead in the accurate recording of the details of passengers, crew and vessel, an inspection of the bond locker, and a search of the crew cabins and common areas is undertaken. In warranted circumstances, arrest, detention and seizure measures are enforced. Immigration officers, the border police, customs and fishery officials all have legally defined roles in such a joint operation. The processing of passenger liners is always an interagency and intergovernmental process. During the port of entry processing procedures of a passenger vessel, key functions performed include immigration control, customs control, border policing, border surveillance and monitoring, port health inspection, inspection of animals, fish, animal products and foodstuff, as well as inspection of plants and plant products. An integrated approach to border management will improve a collective capability to ensure the sovereign integrity of the Port of Cape Town and the Republic, facilitating legitimate maritime trade, identifying and mitigating all known threats and risks. The Port of Entry Control Center marks an exciting new milestone in our efforts to create a more secure and safe South Africa, while contributing to the social and economic development of a better South Africa, a better Africa, and a better world.